All right, glad to have you back. The program is still New Day and it's still Chinamso Amadi talking with Anthony Mamadou, my co-presenter. And right now in the studio, we've just been joined by Christine Kaligirwa. She is a nutrition specialist from UNICEF to dwell on the importance of exclusive breastfeeding. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Now, as a nutrition expert, actually, it's World Breastfeeding Week, and since Tuesday, believe me, we've been talking about it in the studio. We've been hammering on it. We've been, talking on how important it is for exclusive breastfeeding. So, we just want to hear from you as the experts. Why is exclusive breastfeeding recommended for the baby?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here this morning, because I'm really passionate to that. Yeah. And first of all, before explaining the importance of exclusive breastfeeding, it's better also to highlight what is exclusive breastfeeding means. Yeah. So when we say exclusive breastfeeding meal, it's only breast milk, only, without even water, because even in the heat, breast milk alone is enough, and it can be enough for the taste of the child. So exclusive breastfeeding is only breast milk and only breast milk. So it is very important because breast milk has all nutrients the baby needs from birth up to 6 months. Even water, as I said. So breast milk contains almost more than 80% of water. And then in addition to that, has all nutrients the baby needs from birth up to 6 months. And then breast milk has like immune, it can boost the immune of the baby. So it's somehow the first vaccine for the baby.
Oh, the first vaccine.
For the baby, yes. Especially what they call cholesterol.
Okay.
Which is the first yellow fish milk. Which sometimes we throw it away in our community, but which is the one which is most important to give a better start of life for the babies and for our children.
All right, for mothers that cannot really produce the milk, because we hear that at times some lactating mothers have challenges getting the milk out. What is now the better option if they cannot afford to produce even enough quantity or not produce it?
This is what I can say. This is wrong.
Okay.
Every mother has enough breast milk for her or her baby.
Okay.
So it cannot be not sufficient.
Okay.
It's a matter of the technique, how they are doing breastfeeding.
Okay.
Because breastfeeding is like a nut.
It's a nut.
It's a nut, yes.
Oh boy.
Because you have to know how to position the baby on the breast.
Okay.
And then you have to know how the baby will suck.
Okay. So what's the angle of positioning? What's the right position?
That will, unless we go to the training, because there is a specific module for training of health workers or community workers.
Right.
And that module is 5 days training manual. 5 days.
Okay.
Teaching people on how they can improve breastfeeding and how they can position the baby and how they can, a mother knows how to position her baby and how the position and attachment.
Okay.
There is a position and there is attachment.
Okay.
So those are two most important things. And more the baby breastfeed, more the breast milk is produced.
Okay.
So it's the act of putting the baby on the breast, the fact that the baby is breastfeeding as much as possible and as often as possible is that way the breast milk is produced and enough. So every mother has enough milk
for the
baby.
Okay,
God has made it very, very well, as is a natural product from God. Yeah. So everyone has.
All right. Now, all of in cases whereby the woman just gives birth and the breast milk doesn't come out immediately, it takes time to come out before she starts breastfeeding the baby. I've heard cases of that. They complain that the breast milk is not coming out yet. So what happens in that case? What should be given to the baby?
Yeah, that the problem is because when after delivery, the mother has to put her baby on the breast immediately.
Okay.
Immediately after delivery, or within an interval of 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour.
So, yes, within 1 hour. But what is the case is just immediately after delivery, the mother has to put the baby on the breast. This is what we call early initiation of breastfeeding.
Okay.
So with that early initiation of breastfeeding is where now the baby starts to breastfeed immediately, and then immediately the breast milk has to start to be produced.
Okay.
So then
there's further delay.
The further delay, normally there is no further delay.
Okay.
Even after Caesar, the health midwives or doctors, they have to help the mothers immediately to put the baby on the breast. So then by that act, the breast milk will be produced immediately.
Okay.
So the problem is the myth. Sometimes there is myth around that.
Yeah.
So in our culture or in Nigeria culture in general, after delivery they think the mother is tired. So then they take the baby away.
Okay.
And when after taking the baby away, during that interval, if the baby is not put on the breast immediately, that's why they say the breast milk has taken time to come
out. Okay.
But the fact of putting the baby on the breast immediately is the fact which facilitates the early initiation. Then the baby will learn to suck when the breast is still soft, and then slowly by slowly he will learn and get it to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there are some, especially for mothers that have issues with breastfeeding, this common, I don't know if it's true or not, that when they breastfeed the baby for too long, it makes their breast sag, and because of that, they don't want to go the whole long hog of 6 months or even a year to breastfeed. Does it really have an effect on the breast after, due to long period of breastfeeding? Is there really an effect on
which effect?
The effect on the breast of the lady?
To transform.
Yes.
That has to be normal, because if you didn't put the baby on the breast, it will not the same as if you have put the baby on the breast. Because you are a young lady, you are a girl, and then after you are a mother, you are a wife first, and then you are a mother. It's just a transformation. It's just even a transition. But breast milk is not the fact of putting the baby on the breast is not the fact that the breast is going to be transformed. This is even physiological fact. But there is a way you can maintain your style. But when you are a breastfeeding mother, I think the important things is to breastfeed your baby, because you are giving life, you are saving lives, and breast milk is the most important thing to save lives of the babies. Yeah.
Now we are hampering on the effect of why it's necessary to give the baby just exclusive breast milk for 6 months. So what happens if the baby is given water? Is it harmful to the baby for that 6 months?
Of course, I said so. That's why I started by explaining what is exclusive breastfeeding means.
So if you give the baby water at that point, it can cause something else.
What it can cause is because the stomach of the baby is too small.
Yes.
It is very small. So if you put the water in that small stomach, the stomach will be only full of water.
Okay.
And then what will happen is the baby can be malnourished. It can get some malnutrition, because instead of feeding the baby what the baby needs, we are feeding the baby water. So then it's better to avoid water, and breast milk has enough water, so no need to add additional water.
Okay, is there a relationship between the IQ of a baby or a child when it's grown to the fact that the baby had enough breast milk for like 6 months or a year, is there a possibility that the person becomes more intelligent, the IQ is higher than to a baby that just had breast milk for probably 4 months?
Yes, yes, that is evidence.
That's
Has
evidence,
shown,
regardless of how smart or dumb the parents might be.
No, because all breast milk are the same.
Okay.
Same. Either you are rich, either you are poor.
Oh,
The
okay.
breast
Breast
milk
milk
from
is
the
breast
mother
milk.
is the same. Is the breast milk is the same
Is
quality.
is that true?
It's the same
if
quality.
you put into consideration what probably the kind of food,
The
nutrition
person eats, the mother eats.
would have taken during birth, because if I have a mother that eats strictly eba, no vegetables, no fruits, could you compare the richness of the milk to a mother who is well fed?
The quality of the breast milk
Milk.
will remain the same.
Okay.
Regardless
But
of the food.
what is recommended is for also during pregnancy or during breastfeeding period,
Okay.
a mother also has to feed her very well.
Okay.
For her to be well nourished, in order to have also enough milk to
Okay.
breastfeed the baby. But even if the mother drink water, the fact of putting the baby on the breast, the fact the baby is on the breast often, is the fact where the breast milk is produced,
Okay.
has produced enough quality and quantity, unless the mother is severely malnourished.
Okay.
That can affect, but not the quality, but the quantity
Okay.
of breast milk. Yeah.
But in a case whereby the baby doesn't seem satisfied after sucking for so long, what should the mother do?
The baby will be satisfied.
Almost times the baby
will
sucks.
be satisfied.
The baby just wants to go back and keep sucking, no matter how long he's
That's
been
how
there.
we have to teach the mothers how to breastfeed.
Okay,
their
probably
babies.
the nipple is not placed rightly in the mouth of the baby. Or
Yes,
something.
yes.
Okay.
Sometimes even the baby is suckling, like it's not touching very well the
Okay.
breast. This black part of the breast,
Okay.
the baby have to put it in the mouth all.
Okay.
So if you put small part,
The baby's not getting anything.
you're not getting any breast milk.
Okay.
So there is a way of the baby is supposed to be attached
Okay.
on the breast, and how the baby is supposed to be positioned on the breast. So it's a technique which will require us to go for a course, a training course for us to understand. But yeah,
Okay.
all mothers have enough.
Is the breast milk, is there a particular side of the breast that seems to produce more? Is there any difference in quality or quantity or effect? If either you're breastfeeding from the right side or from the left side, is there any difference?
No, there is no difference. What is recommended is you put the baby on all breasts.
Breast, okay. You make it
So
equal.
yeah, you make it equal. You be ensure that the baby will be breastfed
Fed? Yeah, okay.
until the breast milk is
Dispensed.
over from
Okay.
one breast,
Yes, okay.
and then you change the baby.
But is there a way
another one.
to confirm it's over in one?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can. A mother can
We'll
feed
feel
it.
it.
Oh.
Okay.
Can feed it. Yeah.
That's quite
Feed
interesting.
it. And also, if the baby is satisfied,
Okay.
it's okay. But the second time, if you are going to breastfeed the baby, you change the breast.
Position.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to be sure it is balanced.
Balance. Okay.
So at what age is a baby supposed to stop breast milk? Let's say aside from the exclusive 6 months now, at what age is the baby supposed to stop breast milk? At what age is the baby supposed to start taking water and probably some little solid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The recommendation age is, as I said, the recommendation even for global, also for Nigeria, from birth, within 1 hour, the baby has to be put on the breast. So that's why we sensitize, or that's why we call for all midwives or doctors, everybody who can assist the mother during delivery, to assist also the mother on putting the baby on the breast immediately after birth,
Okay.
after delivery. And then, since that time, practice exclusive breastfeeding up to 6
6
months.
months, yeah.
And then from 6 months, it is recommended to start what we call complementary feeding.
Okay.
Is just to complement breast milk.
Breast milk, okay.
Because from 6 months, breast milk alone is not sufficient. So the baby need additional nutrients.
By then the stomach would have expanded.
Yeah, because he's growing. He's growing, and then the on breast milk will not be enough. Then we come to add, and from 6 months, but continue breastfeeding up to 2 years at least.
Ooh.
2 years.
2 years.
At least 2 years.
Wow, is that
a
long time?
You can go beyond, but at least up to 2 years.
Wow.
But then the teeth wouldn't it be out?
It will be out, but the baby will. It's okay. It will not harm the breast.
Okay. My final question for you has to do for infants that lost their mothers during childbirth. What is the option when breastfeeding is since the mother is late now? What is the best option for the baby?
Yeah, good question.
Does it mean that baby won't be intelligent since there's not going to be breast milk?
Of course, the baby will be affected because he will miss the most important nutrition for his life. But there is option.
Okay.
Either you can have a nothing mother.
Okay.
Either a grandmother.
Is it safe?
Is safe.
What if the person is infected with any form of disease?
Okay, yeah. Of course, the nothing mother have to go through tests.
Yes, okay.
To be sure that there is no any disease which can affect the baby.
You said
this is one option.
Okay.
But in other countries, they have what they call bank milk.
Okay.
You know, we have like blood bank.
Okay.
Other countries also have bank milk.
Okay.
And that bank milk can save those babies who don't have.
Before you, just to ask you, you made mention of grandparents.
Grandmothers.
How do we bring
will their milk still be nourishing enough for the baby?
It will be nourished. That's what I say.
How
the
how
quality
did it come out?
Yeah,
Being
when
that the
they're not
person, it's been a
pregnant.
while, the person
is it just to
breastfed.
start also or to practice again the breastfeeding?
Okay.
The fact to put the baby on the breast.
Oh boy.
The breast milk
Brings
will
it
come.
out.
Maybe by slowly, but finally it will come.
Wow.
It's another technique.
Quite interesting. Okay, can we just look at the theme of the breastfeeding week, which says, breastfeeding together. Let's sustain breastfeeding together.
Okay.
Can you just throw more light on the theme?
Yeah. Sustaining. Every year there is a specific theme.
Yeah.
Right.
And this year the theme was sustaining breastfeeding together. Yeah, it's very clear. So it's like a call for action to everybody who is involved. No, everybody to work together, to understand the importance of breastfeeding, and then to contribute to that, to support mothers, to support everyone. Any contribution at every level. And we can start even from macro level, policy level. What can be done to be sure the breastfeeding is protected, is supported, and is promoted. So, and then from that angle of enabling environment, it's good you were in that launch of the breastfeeding week where the First Lady, Her Excellency, the wife of the President, called for employers to have enabling environment where everybody can support that breastfeeding. So this require policy level, how that enabling environment can be set. And maternity leave usually is supposed to be for 6 months to allow mothers to do exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. This is enabling environment. This is policy level. It requires Minister of Labor, Minister of Health together to be sure that policy is that maternity leave is approved for 6 months.
Yes.
And from that level we have also a level of people who can do social mobilization.
Okay.
There we have donors, partners, development partners to mobilize funds. Because to sustain breastfeeding also require funding. It's not only going and do breastfeeding. Those techniques I was telling you, they need
to be trained.
To be trained.
Yes.
They need skills. And if this country, 36 states, how many health workers do we have? To ensure all of them has enough skills, it requires funding to train them. And no, it's not only training; they have to do follow-up to ensure what people has been gained as skills is also put into practice. And then at community level, health workers have to work, community have to be engaged, and all environment of the mother. Not because it's not an action only for the mother, it's an action for social environment of the mother, starting by the husband.
Okay.
Husband is the first person to support the mother to breastfeed. If there is no support from the husband, breastfeeding will not be a success. Yeah. And grandmothers, mother-in-laws, they are the one who has been those myths around giving water, giving herbs, throw it away, the yellowish milk.
Yeah.
So we have also, they have to be trained to be sensitized, to be sure, to support. Yeah, so it will be a success if we can sustain that, all of us together, from high policy level up to downstream level.
All right, the last thing I'm going to ask you before we let you go. First of all, on the lighter side, just to know, are you from a French-speaking country? That's the one.
Yes.
Then I would like to know which country it is. Secondly,
is it part of this?
Does this tell does this tell us why the women or mothers seem to have an advantage with the kids over the fathers because of this breastfeeding bond?
Yeah, the bond between
That's
the mother
the
and
advantage
the
they always have over the fathers, right? That's the advantage they have with the kids over fathers. The fact that they have this bond with the children, right?
The father or the mothers?
The mothers, they have that advantage.
Yeah, they have.
Because I always feel bad when it's painted like mothers, love their children more than fathers love their kids. But obviously, this breastfeeding is the bond that give them that advantage. You said you're from which French country?
I'm from Rwanda. Okay. It's French, but it's also English.
English. Do you have any specific tradition with babies, newborn babies? I'd like to know.
From my country?
Yes, from Rwanda.
Rwanda is among the first countries where exclusive breastfeeding is the highest in the world.
Wow.
80%.
So like Nigeria, that's 25%.
Nigeria is 25%.
Wow.
So then those barriers have been
taken care
of. And of course, we can't stop. They will continue to support and to sustain where they are. Even go beyond, why not 100%? Myself, I did exclusive breastfeeding for my baby, my children. Yeah. So.
Lastly, coming from me, at that opening conference, we talked about the economic implications of breastfeeding, and I was like, wow, I never knew that it could have economic implications. You just briefly let us in on what the implications could be.
Yeah, first of all, the implication could be you are not going to buy infant formula. This is one economic implication. Because you have breast milk, which is there, you don't need to buy it, you just need to put your baby on the breast. But if you are going to buy breast milk from birth up to 2 years, to buy infant formula to give to feed your baby, this is first economic implication. And another economic implication is the baby is protected against illnesses. There is no need to take your baby to the clinic, to the hospital for sicknesses. So then this money you are supposed to spend because the baby is sick is saved. And another one is save the entire community because everybody will be comfortable, the mother, the family, the father as well, and that can contribute to the economic of the household.
Quite interesting. Thank you very much for coming on New Day this morning. At least we've learned a whole lot and also learned that there's economic implications.
And 2 years, you can breastfeed for 2 years. My producer was asking how long could a mother breastfeed. So 2 years.
At least.
At least 2 years. So you can go 4 years.
So you can be more than that.
Go 4 years and you'll be on your own.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Christine, for coming on the program this morning. It was nice having you.
Okay.
All right, the program is still New Day, and it continues right after this break.